Hi Stories channel here.
The movie begins with a sports agent named Allie Davis. She works at Summit Worldwide Management, a company that manages a number of America's best athletes. It is responsible for building an athlete's brand and bringing them product endorsements, magazine interviews, and many other opportunities. Allie is pumped about going to work because her boss, Nick, is set to promote one of the Summit's agents to a partner, and she is confident that it's her time. Allie is very competitive by nature and always works extra hard to stay on top of her male coworkers, who she doesn't see eye to eye with. Allie's assistant, Brandon, helps her manage her tight schedule. On her way to work with Brandon, Allie meets her new hot neighbor in the elevator, who she calls Captain Fucktastic. Allie is into him, but he completely ignores her, making her wish she could find out what's going on inside his head. Allie and Brandon arrive at the male-dominated management firm. She gathers around with her coworkers in the conference room for the major announcement. Seeing the guys discuss their sex life, Allie tells them to save it for their secret poker night, which they never invite her to. Fellow agents Kevin and Eddie assure her that there's no secret poker night. Nick finally arrives at the meeting and announces that Eddie has been selected as the new senior VP. Allie, who is naturally surprised as she was the most likely to be promoted, confronts Nick in his cabin. Nick acknowledges her hard work, but says that she doesn't connect well with the men at the company, and one of them vetoed her promotion. Upset, Allie storms out and announces to everyone in the building that she will sign the rising basketball superstar, Jamal Berry, and prove to everyone that she deserves the promotion. Later, she goes to meet her father, Skip, in his boxing gym. During a boxing session, Allie takes out her work frustration. To cheer her up, Skip takes Allie out for dinner. There, Allie finds the bartender named Will attractive and decides to stay after dinner to introduce herself. One thing leads to another, and the two end up having sex in Will's apartment. Allie is extremely aggressive in bed and always likes to dominate her partner. The next morning, Allie wakes up to Will's little son, Ben, wearing her panties on his head. Embarrassed, Allie gets up to learn that she is late for work. As she scrambles to collect her belongings to head for work, Allie notices a picture of Will with his wife. Angry at Will for not telling her about his marriage and child, Allie storms out of Will's home. At work, she joins her coworkers who are trying to work out a deal with Jamal and his father, Joe Dalla, who wants a magazine cover position with basketball legend and Allie's client, Lisa Leslie. Allie tries to convince Lisa about sharing the cover with Jamal, but Lisa flatly refuses to share the spotlight with a newbie. Failing to secure a magazine cover for his son throws Joe's intentions to work with Allie out the door. That evening, Allie joins her best friend Mary's bachelorette party with her other friends Olivia and Sierra. Olivia reveals that she has hired a psychic named Sister to read their fortunes for fun. Allie is still upset about her promotion, so the girls encourage her to go first. Allie doesn't believe in psychics, but when the sister correctly determines her work frustrations and a potentially budding relationship with Will after reading her cards, she becomes a believer. Sister then gives her a foul-smelling tea to drink to help her with her troubles. Afterwards, the ladies go out to a club to dance, where Allie gets drunk and ends up accidentally knocking herself unconscious. She later wakes up in the hospital and hears her doctor talk about drinking and doing cocaine on the job. When she confronts him about it, the doctor panics and leaves. Brandon arrives and takes her to work. On the way there, she hears Brandon's snarky remarks about her and asks him to stop. Brandon is surprised as he was only saying those things in his head and not out loud. It finally dawns on both Brandon and Allie that she can hear people's inner thoughts. Allie freaks out and becomes overwhelmed when she gets to work and finds that she can only hear the thoughts of men, which are mostly lewd and dark. Fed up, she visits the psychic who gave her the tea to ask her to help her to go back to normal. However, Sister reveals that she can't do anything about it and advises her to use this to her advantage at work and get ahead of her male colleagues. At work, using her newfound power, Allie learns from Kevin about the secret poker night with Jamal's father, Joe, and some other guys at Nick's house. Determined to sign Joe, Allie shows up at Nick's home, where she meets Joe, Kevin, another coworker, Ethan, as well as Mark Cuban, Grant Hill, and Shaquille O'Neal. She easily beats the guys at poker, but when it comes down to her and Joe, Allie lets him win to be on his good side. Pleased, Joe asks Nick to bring Allie to a private meeting scheduled for tomorrow. At the meeting, Nick brings Jamal to hear SWM's pitch on how they can help Jamal build a billion-dollar empire. Kevin puts together a tacky rap video with Jamal's face photoshopped in there, which naturally fails to impress neither Joe nor Jamal. Allie overhears the father and son's thoughts and echoes them out loud, calling Kevin's video cheap 90s video. She manages to appeal to them and convinces them to continue their business negotiation. After the meeting, she invites Joe and Jamal to a basketball game over the weekend. Allie notices Will and his son Ben in her office lobby being stopped by the receptionist from reaching her. Joe turns down her offer, saying he wants Jamal to spend time with his family, and he thinks Allie is not a family-oriented person. Refusing to let Jamal slip out of her hands, Allie signals the receptionist to let Will and Ben in and presents them as her husband and son to Joe. This makes Joe trust Allie, and he agrees to go to the game. After Joe and Jamal leave, Will reveals that he's there to return her driver's license that she dropped at his place. He also reveals that he is not married and his wife died a while back. Allie feels bad for assuming things about Will and invites him and little Ben to the game to make up for it. Kevin later confronts Allie for shitting on his presentation in front of everybody. Allie retorts by saying that he deserved it because he was the one who voted her down so that Eddie could win. Kevin is flabbergasted by the accusation and denies doing any such thing. He further says that he believes in numbers, and since she always brings the numbers, he has always supported her. Kevin's inner thoughts prove that he is telling the truth, which surprises Allie. Kevin tells her that people voted her down because she never tries to be friends with anyone at the office. Allie responds that if she were a man, they would say she was driven, and Kevin thinks in his head that everyone would just say she's a dick. At the game, Allie keeps up the facade of a family-oriented woman. Ben mentions his 6th birthday is coming up and says he wants a race car cake. Allie promises to fulfill his wish, and the little boy gives her an unexpected hug, impressing Joe. After the game, Joe tells her that he is keen to sign with SWM. The next day, Brandon sets Allie and her fake husband Will to go on a double date with Mary and her fiancé James, despite her protest. Although she agrees to go, she tells him that he is starting to act like her agent. Brandon thinks to himself that he should be an agent, and Allie tells him that it takes a lot to be an agent and that he's not ready yet. At the double date, Allie overhears James thinking about cheating on his fiancée with the waitress. Disgusted, Allie whacks him in the nuts and pretends as if it was an accident. Distrustful of men, Allie takes her frustration out on Will, but she changes her mind when she hears Will's sweet thoughts about her. Afterwards, Allie goes to Will's place to have sex. This time, Will makes her ease up on the aggression, leading to an incredible experience for both of them. Just as things are starting to look good for Allie, Joe organizes a press conference where he announces that he is taking his son to China. It's revealed that Jamal's Chinese deal was orchestrated by Ethan, who has left SWM for another agency. Nick is pissed at the deal and blames Allie for the company's failure to secure Jamal. He lashes out at her, saying that he would have fired her a long time ago if it weren't for the sexist or racist accusations that would be labeled against him should he do so. Offended, Allie challenges him to fire her from his company, claiming that her clients would follow her out the door. Outside, Nick sees Will and spills the beans to him about Allie using him and his son to secure the deal with Joe. Allie tries to explain herself, but an upset Will storms out of the building. With her life spiraling out of control, Allie drinks a ton at Mary's wedding to cope. At the altar, she overhears James thinking about his affair with Mary's cousin, Gabby, while reading his wedding vows. Disgusted and fed up, a drunk Allie interrupts and starts telling everybody about her ability to hear men's thoughts. Worried, Brandon tries to stop her, saying he is doing it as a friend. But Allie rudely shuts him down, saying they are not friends and he is just her assistant. Upset, Brandon leaves. Allie then tells everyone about James and Gabby's affair. James denies having any affair, but Gabby admits and apologizes to her cousin. When Sierra accuses Allie of being jealous of her friends for being married, Allie tells everyone about Sierra's husband's affair with another man. The double expose leads to mayhem and Sierra and her sister-in-law getting into it. During the fight, the latter accidentally knocks Allie out with a vase. Allie wakes up in the hospital again and meets the same doctor. This time, Allie can't read the doctor's thoughts. Turns out, she can no longer hear people's thoughts. The doctor reveals that he is working on his alcohol and coke addiction. Allie then notices that no one has shown up for her at the hospital, and she realizes how she has destroyed all her relationships. To correct her mistake, Allie apologizes to Brandon at work. She also confesses that he has everything it takes to be an agent, and she only told him otherwise because she wanted to keep him as her assistant. Brandon forgives her, and when they discuss Jamal, it suddenly hits her that she should have focused more on listening to Jamal's heart and not his and Joe's mind. She then meets him at his favorite park and plays basketball with him. She congratulates him and advises him to always listen to his heart. Later, Allie visits her girlfriends over dinner and apologizes to them. They forgive her, but on the condition that she will pay for Margarita Mondays from now on. The NBA drafts begin and Jamal is signed by the Atlanta Hawks. He has listened to his heart and decided to stay in Atlanta. Joe talks to Allie and tells her his decision to hire her as Jamal's agent. The next day at a meeting, Nick announces that he has decided to promote Allie to a partner. However, Allie reveals that she no longer wishes to be a part of the boys' club, so she is quitting the company to start her own firm with Kevin as her partner, and she is taking all of her clients with her. She also makes Brandon an agent at her new firm. Allie then goes to Little Ben's birthday party, bringing his favorite cake with her. Will is still upset with her, but after hearing her heartfelt apology, he decides to give her another chance and embraces her. Thanks for watching, guys.